They often prioritize their independence to a degree that blocks closeness. Hello, 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 and welcome back to Colorless Oranges, where I share my experiences to help better yours. I am your host, Sydney Highest Cinderella, and Sydney that girl. And today we're talking emotionally unavailable. I want to open the floor to anyone who feels like they have been either the emotionally unavailable one or who has gone through something in this category. I want to see what your opinions are. Before we get into the episode, if you could just drop down any of your ideas and thoughts and questions, not even like maybe questions to the person that was emotionally unavailable to you, or just anything that comes to your mind when you hear the words emotionally unavailable. You could drop it down in the comments before we get started. I recently, as of like yesterday, this is actually happening to me right now. I want to say that I believe the universe brings people together for many reasons. Maybe to have your life partner, and this is somebody you're going to experience forever, and you guys are going to stick together and change in the entire span of your life together. Or this person is going to deeply transform you, break you down into nothing so that you can be built to what God and the universe believes you to be. I think sometimes along the way we forget ourselves as well. I think that sometimes we know like we are X, Y, and Z, but sometimes a S comes or an A and it just kind of like throws you out of whack. And for me, I might have been thrown out of whack for a bit. I needed this little like jump kick, stomp on type of experiences to, move me forward a bit. Bear with me because I might be a bit emotional because this is extremely different for me. I don't normally like to talk about things that are actively happening to me. But anyways, here we go. So, as I was saying, I think that the universe brings us aligned with people. And for me in this instant, I thought that I was being aligned with the version of me that I wanted to see through for a while, Everything checked by boxes, like everything. Like there was no box there that I was like unsure about or iffy or like willing to just be like, okay, it's fine. Things that are important to me: hygiene, weed intake, 0, career, height, ethnicity, interests. There was no swag gap, in my opinion. And the most important part, emotional intelligence. The word was thrown out there so much in conversations that I was like, I can't be, crazy. So here's what happened. I might have done something to tick this person off, right? Because we can all do things and we might not know it. Like just me being how I am can really bother somebody's spirit, Just me being dressed this way or speaking this way can bother many people. And we'll truly never know. I might have ticked this person off and this person might have dealt with it in the way that they are accustomed to, which was bickering. And, doing a little back and forth with a master back and forth. And okay, that was fine. Cool. Second time, more bickering. And then no resolution. It kind of made me feel a little weird. Like, what is going on? But I kind of had to like come back to myself and like chill out for a second. Like, let's look at this situation. What is actually happening here, right? How long do you know this person for? What is actually going on between you and that person? Did you actually do something wrong? What is going on? Is there emotional manipulation happening? Are they pulling at your feathers? Are your strings at your heart? Like, what are they doing? And what is going on? And why are you allowing it to happen? Cool. Okay. The part that really gets me is the lack of communication from someone who begs for communication, right? Isn't that a bit weird? You telling me all you want is communication and then you try to take it away. But so what do? We try to regain control in our situation and we move forward. How do I gain control of the situation? I remove myself as if I was never there. Genuinely, I have this ability. I don't know if it's something, I don't know where it comes from, right? We could put it in many places. We could say it's my Mercury, where my Mercury placement is at. We could say it's the way that I was raised. We can say the things that have happened to me as a child growing up and how I had to deal with those things. If we're looking for a reason of how am I so successful and moving away and moving on and acting like nothing ever happened, those can be the reasons. So this is what I did. I moved on and acted like nothing ever happened. But something was a little bit different this time. Something felt like, wait a minute, no, like it's not working. Like it's not working. I unfollowed, I blocked, I muted, I deleted content. I did everything. Worst part about it, there was not even a picture on my phone. What do you do now? How else do you gain control, right? I'm feeling a little left out in the cold here. I'm confused. I'm confuzzled. I don't know exactly what to do. I start looking around. I'm like, we gotta do something. My mind is just thinking about this constantly. Oh my God, did you actually like him? Or are you just mad because he doesn't like you? Or are you mad because you're not getting exactly what you want out of this situation? Because you thought of the possibilities and you thought the potential was there. You let this person in. You let this person see you in ways no one does. What are you really sad about? What is really bothering you? Why can't you just leave and act like nothing happened? Why is this bothering you? You go to a yoga class, Pilates, you go to the gym. Ain't nothing working. You have a conversation now. Things are starting to move. And you're starting to see like you were bamboozled. During this conversation, you start to see how people can be emotionally manipulative towards you. People can know and sense that you're upset about something and choose to withhold information, possibly feelings and emotions and whatever, for the sake of their ego, for the sake of, I'm going to win this and I'm not going to let nobody keep hurting me. Some people are emotionally handicapped. And by that, I mean, you're not fully there, you're not. I started this off by saying people think that they are emotionally intelligent, right? Because compared to the person that you see all the time, your best friend, let's say, or your parents, or the people at your job, or this random girl that you meet, right? You're more emotionally available than she is. You kind of understand people's emotions better than they do. I always like to say we should not measure ourselves based off other people. I might have a 4.0 GPA, but me and the person with a 4.0 in Harvard and me and a 4.0 in Bronx Community College is not the same thing, The prerequisites for me to have a 4.0 there are completely different over there. For you to be emotionally intelligent on your side of the world and me be emotionally intelligent on my side is two completely different things. I don't think that there is a common ground in emotional intelligence. I think that this person was at a stage of their emotional intelligence that I used to refer to when I learned about spirituality, when I first came out of my anger phase, I did the exact same thing. Like, oh no, like I know... Number one, I've always known how people are, right? I'm always paying attention to people's emotions and what is going on with other people. I'm always watching everything that's happening. And I can pinpoint it and I know how to act, like I came from a place where like, you can't do this. You can't talk too much because then this will happen or whatever. And you might get people upset. So you just like learn to tone it down, right? Coming out of this phase of where I was just angry all the time, I then realized I can express myself and just tell people how I feel. And like, that's more than what other people are doing. I'm just going to say how I feel. I'm not going to make myself sick for the sake of your emotion. Like, no, If you made me feel a kind of way, I'm gonna tell you how you made me feel. What? Why am I gonna like withhold that? For what? What gain does that give me? This is how I used to think then. Please keep that in mind. So I would sit there and I would go back and forth with everybody. Every time somebody did something to me, it was like, all right, bet. Before I would keep it in and it would make me angry and resentful. And then I would just burst and get into fights and all of these things with people. I stopped that. I then went back and forth with everybody and got nowhere. Because now people are like, oh, you're so argumentative. All you like to do is argue. All you like to do is yell. All you like to do is this, and that. And I'm like, I'm just expressing myself. What is the lack here of understanding that you and I are both having? Why can't I just express how I'm feeling? Can you listen to me? I would get very passionate. Like, if you think I'm passionate right now, the way that I was then is 10 times worse. It could come off as disrespectful sometimes. And I realized, I kept always hearing like, oh, you got to watch what you say. Like, it's not about what you say. It's how you say it. 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 And it's like, okay. So you learn to maneuver with these people, right? You want to keep them in your life. So you learn how to talk to them, right? I wouldn't talk to my mom like she's an idiot ever in my life. I would never disrespect her. So I took that kind of idea and I would give it to everybody else. I'm not going to be disrespectful to you, even if you deserve it. Now, this person is doing this same thing that I did to everyone else to me. It's happening. I was like looking at a flashback. It was like I was in a That's So Raven episode and I was just looking at like what I used to be like. Like, I was perfect on the outside. Oh my God, was I perfect on the outside? Oh my God, everything just looked great. But once I would get there, oh my God, you would realize, you would be like, oh, she's damaged. Like, she's hurt. Not damaged, but I was hurt. I don't want to say broken, but I was healing and I was going through my phases and I thought I knew everything. And I really don't like Legos. Like, look at me. Now I'm just fiddling with this. I don't need to be fiddling, but I guess I need some kind of emotional support right now because this is very different for me. So yeah, I'm looking at this person and this person is just bickering back and forth with me over something that had absolutely no value. And I don't ever mean to invalidate anyone's emotions because that might have triggered that person to think about something else, which there is the emotion, right? There is what holds your feelings and the space that you are in. So whether I stepped on that person's shoe or I threw a rock at their car or I left them on red or I blocked them or I did whatever to this person, however they took it, that's on them. And this is how, their experience. This might have reminded them or given them that same jolt that it gave me of like, whoa, this is actually crazy. And reminded them of things that they probably didn't want to be reminded of or feel a certain kind of way that they didn't want to feel, Sometimes we don't subject ourselves to these emotions. Sometimes it's hard even navigating them. It's like, what do I do now? I don't want to be feeling this. I don't want to go through this. And so that person boasted themselves, put themselves on a pedestal. I'm smarter than you. I'm more emotionally available than you. I know what I'm talking about. I was upset for a bit, kind of thinking to myself, like, what is it? Why is it difficult for me to just move forward? And I think, number one, not being able to speak on it, right? Because what do you do in this emotion? You don't go back to the person or go have a conversation with them, right? Oh my God, somebody was like, oh, but you should just go talk about it. Why would I ever go back to the quicksand? The quicksand is why are we going back to the freaking... I'm not here to tell anybody anything. Nobody came to me and gave me some 2 senses and told me something. No, that's not how that works. The things that we know and the things that we've learned is through an experience, through an emotion. I can't tell you to experience this or I can't tell you to feel this. You just do, right? These are things that just happen. So if I was to sit there and tell this person X, Y, and Z and how they made me feel and whatever, it's not going to go well, right? How do I know this? Because I was there. And all the people that try to give me advice, it never worked. And the reason and the way that it ended up working was because I had to go through all of those things to come out and to see better. You understand? So this person telling me, oh, but just go, it really was triggering me. It was like, are you not listening to me? And there it was. That was the cherry on top. That's what broke the camel's back. That's what brought the tears out. That's what brought this episode about. It was like all of the potential and everything that I saw, even with the lack of this, at a point I was like, am I ever going to be heard? Am I going to subject myself to being somewhere where I'm not heard? My biggest thing in this entire world is to be understood. When I don't feel understood, it breaks me, genuinely. Like, it really hurts. I feel sometimes I will set everything ablaze sometimes if I feel like I'm not being heard. It's just, it is the one thing that you can do to me that will really, really bother me. And it's a trigger. And you know something, what's funny too, like I was having a conversation with this person. I remember them saying like, oh, like this person triggered me and da 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 da. And I'm like, the whole point is not to have triggers, right? The whole point is to be healed, and no one has control of you and your emotions. And at this point in my life, the one thing it is being, after everything, right? After I got through this part and I healed this and I healed that, there's something about me having to understand me that I have to conquer, that I have to heal, that I have to be open with. It's easy for me to be emotionally available with somebody. I can be vulnerable. That has no problem. Like, it doesn't bother me if you know my deepest, darkest secret. Like, I'm pretty sure, you know, it doesn't even matter. Those things, none of that stuff is what bothers me. It's just the point of being misunderstood that really gets me. And it's like, if I don't even have an opportunity to express myself, that really hurts. So in that situation, what showed me was I still have to heal my sense of understanding, right? And why do I care if you understand me? Who are you? Who are you for me to care about anything? Why do I want to be understood by you? What do you bring to me that makes me want to feel understood by you? This is a genuine question. Like, I don't know yet, and I have to maybe figure it out. I don't ever like to be seen as anything that I'm not, right? So if I'm trying to explain myself to you and you're telling me that I'm this and I'm telling you that I'm that, it really bothers me. Because I'm sitting there, I'm giving you the time of day. I don't give the time of day to many people, but I will, right? If I feel called to. And then you're going to sit there and tell me something that I'm not saying? Oh my God. If you want to see me flip a table, just do that. Just do it. Because you'll see a table being flipped. And the table being flipped now was the removing and the this and the that. Because I don't want to deal with that. Somebody said, I saw it the other day, that a way a man reacts to certain situations in that moment is how he will always react. Men don't really grow up. You know, si él se altera majority of the time when y'all are this is what's always going to happen. I feel like it's true to a certain extent, right? Like, I have people in my life who I've grown up with, and I've seen them be this angry man my entire life. They have spurts and times and moments where they aren't that way, and can be calm and nice, but that doesn't last long. And then they always revert back to being this extremely angry, pissed off man. Whereas us women, we learn to heal. And those things of us are so far behind us that it's just like, I don't even recognize that. Like me, I genuinely don't recognize a lot of the things I did when I was younger. I don't recognize those moments. Whereas men kind of just stay in that same thing for a long time. Not to say that men can't change. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this is what I heard, and I was able to pinpoint it to the men that I've seen in my life, right? They're not all going to react the same way, but it's that emotion, right? Certain things, like, I'm not saying he's always going to put his hands on somebody. I think that you can change being violent, right? I don't think people are always going to be violent forever. They might not be forever. I mean, they might not be consistently violent all the time, but like maybe here, maybe there, in other ways and whatnot. Some things like are just born in men's character. Like it's in their makeup of their DNA to be that way. I say that though, because it's like, do I constantly want to deal with somebody who's not going to listen? No. And maybe I just don't have the time to give for me to learn if that's going to happen or not, if that's going to change or not, to see it through, you know? Got to see it through, my boy. I don't know. People preach that they are emotionally intelligent. And in the end, they bicker with you like two girls who are 17 years old talking about Justin Bieber. I love him, no, but he's this, oh, but he's that. Oh, okay. It was really like how I deal with people, clients at my job who like, they're so entitled. They're like just, miserable. And they'll come to you like, oh yeah, but yeah, and this. And you just gotta, yeah, okay, yeah. I like to be combative. I don't really care. But I realize that I'm exerting a lot of energy that I don't need to. I don't need to drain myself out to prove you wrong. It's not going to do anything. Only but be combative and make you feel like you're right. Anytime I went back and forth with somebody before, it was like, it would prove their point that I could be that way, that I was that way. And whatever that they were saying was right and I was wrong. When I just thought that I was expressing myself, but it really wasn't that. You can express yourself in different ways. I express myself through clothes. I express myself here on a podcast, right? I think in certain situations like this where you really don't have an opportunity to go to the person, wow, that's actually so sad. Not having the opportunity to tell a person how they're hurting you or how they're making you feel sucks. And I'm open to any of your solutions that you guys have done in your past. I think for me, it's all about coming back to yourself and expressing to yourself. I understand that because you already know how you're feeling, you don't really want to do it double, like maybe write about it or talk about it to somebody or whatever. But genuinely, that is the one thing that solves all of my problems, is talking about my problems. Whenever I'm hurt, whenever I'm sad, this is why I have a podcast. Because a lot of things that I have been through, I feel like could help you. And also it helps me. I'm also able to see like, where could I have done this and reflect on it in a way, right? I'm hearing myself speak to you as I'm speaking to you, and these thoughts are coming to me so I can, fix them. So if you have anybody that you confide in, I think that's why therapy is so prevalent in our times, because a lot of the people that we want to express our emotions to, like our parents or our siblings or just anybody who had done us wrong, we can't really talk to them because they don't see how they have hurt you now, right? If right now they've done something to you, there really usually isn't a way for you to speak to them and tell them like, hey, you hurt me, because they're here still, right? They're not 10 years from now where they can understand and have like hindsight. That really sucks. I hope that you feel validated enough to know that your feelings are valid. You are right. That person did hurt you, and I'm sorry for them. I know that you didn't do anything to deserve that. You didn't do anything wrong. And find comfort in yourself, I think sometimes we want those people to know how we feel so that they can comfort us and they can validate our emotions. But number one, I don't want to be validated. I just want you to move forward and do better. I don't ever want to be told, oh my God, you were right. I know I'm right. That's not the part that like hurts. The part that hurts is like you're just going to keep doing this to other people, and there's going to be more people. And then there's just people in the world who don't even know. There's people in the world who just sit there and this is their idea forever. And they don't do anything or know anything other than that. That genuinely got to be the saddest thing ever. And you sitting there thinking like you're wrong because this person is manipulating you to think that you're wrong. That you did something like, what? Boy, if you don't get on my face, if you have your own ways of solving problems and making things better for you, I hope it's healthy. I hope it's not a escapism. I hope that you're not avoiding things. I always think that we should confront things when they happen and boom, that's it. Find a resolution and move forward. This kind of lingering situation doesn't help anybody. I hope that you're able to move on, find peace, enjoy yourself, enjoy your time, enjoy your thoughts. Understand that if you're feeling something, figure out where it comes from. Try to find a companion, someone that you trust. Even if that is your diary. I don't know where it cut off, but if I got to the part where I was like, if people don't have the time to listen to you, just listen to yourself. Record yourself. I know you might not want a podcast. Just record yourself as if you are talking and then listen to it back. It really helps, genuinely. I would like just turn on the camera, start recording. Listen to what you have to say afterward, and then you can get some clarity. I was trying to keep it all in. I was really like, I don't know what to talk about this week for my episode. I just didn't feel like it would be conducive because, I don't know, sometimes you don't kind of want to give people some kind of ammunition. But it's not ammunition, genuinely. It's like, what are you going to do with this information? I hope take this information and grow and do better. I feel like I'm just such a private person, though. Like, certain things are just meant to be kept. I hope you didn't think we were going to go anywhere without me telling you the definition of what emotionally unavailable means. Emotionally unavailable describes a person's inability or unwillingness to sustain emotional bonds and connect deeply with others in relationships. This often manifests as difficulty expressing feelings, avoiding vulnerability, and shying away from commitment, which can leave partners feeling distant and unfulfilled. So, if you are not telling anybody how you are feeling, avoiding being open, and really saying how you're feeling, I'm looking at you. And shying away from commitment. I can't do it with this person. I can't la. You're emotionally unavailable. I don't make the rules. This is the rules. Being inconsistent, hot or cold, constitutes as emotionally unavailable, by the way. Preferring superficiality over intimacy. Becoming defensive easily. And a pattern of short-lived or undefined situationships where you feel like you are always asking for more than the other person gives. They often prioritize their independence to a degree that blocks closeness, struggle to empathize, or use vague language to keep you at a distance. Wow. Being emotionally unavailable means struggling to form deep emotional connections, express feelings, or be vulnerable with others, often leading to surface level relationships and difficulty with intimacy, commitment, or handling conflict. It involves keeping people at a distance, avoiding heartfelt conversations, and seeming detached, even when physically present, and can stem from past trauma, fear, or ingrained patterns. Some solutions for emotionally unavailable people involve building self-awareness, practicing gradual vulnerability, and addressing underlying trauma through therapy. Key approaches include naming emotions without judgment, setting healthy boundaries, and developing empathy for a partner's needs. Healing often requires conscious effort to move from defensive, self-protective habits towards deeper and more open communication. Right. It's 11:11. It's 11:11. Yo, the Chinese New Year starts on the 17th. So on Monday, make sure your house clean. You're not doing nothing on Tuesday. Just letting you know. Wow, and then it's Ash Wednesday. When does Ramadan begin? Oh my God. Wow. We got the Chinese New Year starting on the 17th. On the 18th, we have Ash Wednesday and the first night of Ramadan. Crazy things are happening next week, y'all. Get in touch. Today is the 11th. Wow, it's 11/11 on the 11th. Guys, oh my God. That's so cool. That is so awesome. Rad. Anyways, I hope that you can be open and vulnerable with the people closest around you. I fear that we all need to be open with one another so that we can improve and be just, better, nicer, calmer, cool. Sorry, my feet were like all up in your face. Collected, nice people to one another. I feel like if you want to get there with somebody, you got to be open. Just be open, but not like overly open. Not necessarily overly open, but like not in the sense that you want them to validate every single thing, right? Because I feel like that's what just happened. Last episode, it was like a constant need for emotional validation. Like, yes, I love you. Yeah, you're the best. I love you. No, that's not what I mean. By being open, it's just like, how do you feel? And if something bothered you, then express it and talk about it and those type of things. But not like a little baby cry. There's a difference. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this episode. Toodaloo. Love you. Thank you so much for watching this, my little orange. I gotta go package some orders because y'all are finally buying the hats now. Thank you. Link is always in the description box. Always. We do styling appointments and there is still merch. Hopefully we're dropping some soon. And yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side. See you in the next episode where I might have found my husband or not. I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll see you and you in the back soon. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.